Now broadcasting from the Next Gen Conservative Studio in sunny South Florida, bringing you the latest in politics, current events, and pop culture. This is the Whitfield Report with Sam Whitfield.
Whoa, holy shit, we're back from vacation, I guess. So
from graduation, bitch. Sammy's graduated, folks.
Yeah, that is something to celebrate, actually. So
I agree. Congratulations, young man.
Very
proud of you.
Thank you to everyone who sent me nice tweets and messages on all sorts of platforms. I really appreciate that. So,
Hell
and
yeah,
also,
buddy.
I guess Gator graduated as well.
That's right.
I don't really know him, but I guess congrats to him too. And in the meantime, while I was out, so I took a week hiatus and kind of in preparation for graduation and everything, and all sorts of stuff went down, some of which I kind of paid attention to, but not really. The last time you and I talked, Apex, you had bruises on your.
Yeah.
You looks like you had gotten into a fight with an angry, with an angry stripper or something.
Well, yeah, I actually didn't really post about it online. I did show you. I thought about posting it because it's pretty brutal, but the short of it is you know, everybody knows that I have cats and I love my kitties. And now that it's getting warm out, I'm letting them out to wander. They're scaredy cats because they're inside babies, but they still love going out. They just don't go very far. But we have not only some tomcats, but some neighborhood dogs that like to come onto my property, and they've caused some damage to a couple of my babies once or twice. So I thought about just straight up killing them. I thought about getting a BB gun. I'm like, I'm not going to do that because, you know, the BBs can dig into their skin, or you could put an eye out and they'll die of horribly of an infection. I don't want that. I just want them to leave my fucking cats alone, you know, stay off my property kind of thing. So I started like strategically piling up little stacks of rocks on the like under the windowsills around the house, because the fights break out at any point in time, and the best I can do is throw fucking rocks at these things, you know. But I happened to be outside grilling about a week and a half ago, and I heard a fight break out, and I started yelling. And when I raise my voice, that usually is all it takes. You know, when I actually yell, it chases them off. But I yelled a couple times, and it only got worse. So I fucking John Wicked off the porch, and I started running. I've been dealing with these fucking animals trying to hurt my cats right here next to my house, not even out in the street or whatever. So I fucking full speed as fast as I could, and I'm tall. But it was dark, and I shouldn't have been running in the dark. But I missed a step somewhere, and I landed pretty fucking hard on just the grass. I didn't even land on anything. But I knocked the wind out of me a little bit, and I lifted myself up laughing, looking around, hoping some neighbors were outside, because it was like a cartoon, man. I was full speed forward, and I don't even remember falling or like putting my hands down. It was just like face down in the dirt and going what the fuck, you know. It wasn't until like 2:00 in the morning, after I'd fallen asleep, that I realized my leg was in a lot of pain. And I have some pictures of it, and the short of it is that I got a massive hematoma underneath my right knee, like just below my right knee, and it swelled my whole fucking leg up. I couldn't even put my pants on for a couple of days. I couldn't get my leg through my pants, and I got skinny ass legs, Sammy. Yeah, I went to all the relevant doctors. I mean, I went to work the next day, limped around and shit. But yeah, I got it X-rayed. I got it an MRI. There's no leaky vessels or anything. It's just a fat hematoma, which all that blood has to go somewhere, which leaked to my foot, which is the picture that I sent you when I was in the ER, because all my friends started freaking me out. I've never had anything swell up like this in my life. And all these older people like, that's gonna be blood clots. You're gonna fuck this. You're gonna fucking that. You need to go get this. Like, well, fuck, dude.
Oh
My
yeah.
toes are black. The tips of my toes are black. You know, my whole foot looked like it belonged to a dead person. So I went to the ER, and for what I can't remember, you hit me up for something. I'm like, yeah, I'm in the ER. Sent you some pictures. But
Well,
yeah, so I'm pretty good now, to be honest with you.
I'm glad, and so to kind of, I guess, segue into our next topic. So when I DM'd, so last week, not only did I graduate, but the same week I graduated, I also had final exams. So all my finals were done on Monday, but I had graduation prep to do. So Friday was like the only day I really had off. And there's been this whole drama with Nick Fuentes,
Oh boy, yeah.
and I guess Kina Casino, which I don't watch like often, but I knew they were coming, and I was kind of curious to see because they had because they had two of the America First guys. I was curious to hear like what happened behind the scenes. So I tuned in and I DM'd Apex, "Hey, are you watching this?" And
Oh yeah.
then he DMs me those photos, and I'm like, "Holy crap, what happened?" So
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I remember. You watching this? I'm like, no, I'm sitting in the fucking hospital. Oh shit, you okay? Well, I got I got two legs shoved into my one leg. Um,
uh,
but yeah, no, I'm with you there, buddy. I've enjoyed a couple of Kino casinos. I have to admit I've never watched the entirety of any of them. Um, but you know, it's really boring for me, to be honest with you. Like I would rather watch clip channels for the most part than watch a 4 hour show breaking down clip channels and putting it together, you know?
yeah, I mean, the production wise, they do a really good job.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, people think we go long, and granted, sometimes we do, but I mean, nowhere near compared to I think I've seen Kino Casino streams. I haven't watched any of them, but just off the timestamps, I've seen some that are like, I'm not exaggerating, like 6 hours
Yeah,
or
5, 4, 5, 6. I mean, the one just yesterday was like 4.5 hours, I think, and that's fine. I mean, look, it's a different. I think it's catering to a different generation, but I'm seeing like a weird shift in this whole in this in this field of the internet that I've been, you know, entrenched in a certain way for fucking 6, 7 years now. It's actually it seems to be circling back around in a certain way, but it's different. You know,
yeah.
we had these Fuentes types back in the Tonkasaw day. I mean, it just wasn't nearly as big. It's much bigger now. It's like they learned from the mistakes of the previous generation of these grifters online and pushed it further, but they still fell for the same pitfalls. You know, they're doing the same shit, just on a bigger scale. You know
Well,
what I mean?
that's kind of what I wanted to talk to you about and actually ask you about, because I kind of come from, and I'll admit, this is kind of one of the things I get criticized. Oh, you're just from conservative Inc., quote unquote. That's where you got your start. And I'm like, yeah, okay, that is where I got my got my start. And then, you're kind of, I don't want to say you were in the drama circle, but
Oh, I was.
that's kind of what.
I was absolutely a an orbiter of the e
Right.
drama shit for a long time. I mean, I like for
And
at least a couple of years before I ever started fucking with Owen.
Well, and one thing, I mean, I think you and I have kind of talked about this before, but like I've actually tried to explain to this to like some of my friends who actually work in politics. I've kind of tried to explain some of the e-drama stuff to them, but what I've noticed is e-drama and e-drama and politics these days are kind of virtually uh inseparable. I don't know if that's the right word, but to me it
Yeah,
seems
inseparable. Yeah.
like they get closer and closer to each other, and I mean I think Nick Fuentes is a prime example of that. Same with Owen to a lesser extent, maybe.
I'm sorry, I missed. I must have missed. They're getting closer and closer to what?
They're getting closer and closer to being like one and the same. It seems
What? Yeah, right. One and the
almost.
same with what? That's what I missed. I'm sorry.
Um, I mean, it just seems like it seems like it seemed like they almost kind of like intersect with each other as far as like content goes. I mean,
Oh, you mean like Owen and Fuentes?
yeah, well,
Oh, okay.
meaning like the same type of characters. You know, like
Sure, sure. Yeah. Do as I say, not as I do. Trust me, I'm smart. Um, I've got your best
right.
interest at heart. You just have to listen, loyalty, all that. Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah. Again, it's the same.
And then also too the which I think is the weirdest thing is the life ruination for simply just disagreeing with people
Yeah, I
because
mean, yeah. Go ahead.
because see kind of like when I was coming up like and I you know and you would get into debates, it was kind of like, okay, you know, we disagree on this stuff sometimes vehemently, but it was kind of like after a while you would go over there and you would go over into your corner and you would go into, you know, and I would go into
Your
my
respective
corner,
hug boxes, effectively, is what it was.
and we would just kind of like just leave each other alone. There wasn't this whole thing of like, oh, I'm gonna get you fired from your job because you disagree with me or because you don't want to be my friend anymore.
Well, see,
So
that's the thing, man. Is that's kind of what I was saying earlier. All of that has existed for a long time. I mean, people have been driven to suicide on camera since the internet and social media has existed.
oh
People
yeah.
have people have been driven out. I mean, I wouldn't even dare to guess, but certainly at least thousands of people have been forced out of their jobs in the history of the internet by some fucking A-log before A-log was a term, somebody that just took personal offense to what you say or someone says or does online and makes it their personal mission to fucking ruin them. I mean, that's been around forever. Literally. It has literally been around forever. The internet used to be a lot meaner, but it
Oh
wasn't as
yeah.
cruel. It wasn't as like cruel. It was farther and fewer between where people would do that sort of stuff, and they would be generally ostracized from a lot of a lot of groups, you know, doxing
Yeah.
people and shit like that. That's generally fair play on the internet. I mean, to be fair, but you know, the whole contacting employers and pretend, you know, all that shit. That again, that's been around forever. But when you cultivate a movement like Fuentes has done, and it's predicated on a bunch of bullshit that you don't even believe, or pretend to believe until the chips fall in a less than favorable manner, and then you side up with the just most disgusting human being that's ever graced the internet, um, as your only ally. I mean, there's so much wrong with it, but you know, I've seen a couple people get banned off of Twitter recently, during this whole Fuentes thing, including Dick Molesterson, who's one of my closest Twitter friends. You know, the parody Dick Masterson account. Uh,
I know. I just love that name. It's so
Dude, yeah, all you need is to just quietly drop an H in there, and it's molest her son. You know.
uh
Anyway,
yeah.
uh, anyway, yeah, no, I've seen some people get banned recently, during this whole cum investigator timeline. But most of them just make funny things, and they're blaming. I'm going to say this publicly, by the way, that Tiny Bird Productions on Twitter, who's been accused of being Ralph, has been accused of being the flagger of all of these channels. I have known for about as long as I've known you, Sam, in a different sort of way, you know. But he's my friend, man. I don't think he's not. I know he's not a flagger, but I know if it will drive people crazy, he will accept responsibility for said flaggings, which everyone's doing. You know, they're accusing him of being Ralph. They're accusing him of flagging, so he's leaning into it. And it's really that's what's kind of made me step back a little bit is people like Cog, who's been doing this shit forever and makes, $300 a stream to stream for 4 hours a day, 5 hours a day. That's fine. That's good. Good for him. He's just restreaming Ethan Ralph, and shit like there's tons of that going on. I mean, the likes of Ethan
Sure.
Ralph and Nick Fuentes create entire industries. They're small, but they like literally they create entire subcategories of content creators underneath them. They sometimes supersede them, like the Kino Casino making more money, getting more views, solely covering Ethan Ralph and Nick Fuentes and the like, you know. But that's because they're playing the game the right way. Eh,
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I mean, there was a period of time before I met you where I was where I was kind of going after Charlie Kirk and kind of like not really like, like I wasn't going after him personally. I was just saying like, is this guy was anti-Trump, didn't want to have anything to do with Trump, but as soon as Don Jr. showed up with his checkbook, then Turning Point became the main MAGA thing. Is this really, so I
yeah.
was more or less calling out his inconsistency, but
I mean,
I
look, Sammy, I have done an interview with someone that we both consider to be a friend that's somewhere on the internet
yeah,
that I was asked flat out if I think that doxing and contacting employers is okay if you think the offenses they've committed are wrong enough. And I thought it was a joke initially. And after time, realizing that it wasn't like was exactly their attempt with, I don't want to name names or anything, but they were going after someone specifically at the time, the Reddit, this particular Reddit. And I mean, that never sat right with me. I thought it was a joke at the time. Like, no, it's never okay to do that. Do you have evidence of them hurting people, like physically hurting them, or kidnapping people, or convicted murderers? Then
right,
why would you contact their employer for the lulz? Okay, I mean, if that's the angle you want to take, then fine. But don't sit here and play moral high ground to me,
right.
motherfucker. Anyway, but yeah, it's very prevalent across all walks of the internet. It's been around for a long time, but this whole Fuentes fallout is incredible because just like Owen Benjamin, Nick says a lot of things that are beyond true, but he's a person. He's a fucking kid at the end of the day.
Yeah,
Literally, he's a fucking kid. And he may have all the facts in the world, but he's a kid. He doesn't, life experience is invaluable in more ways than I could quantify here. But,
oh yeah,
so I don't know. I mean, I honestly don't hate Nick Fuentes. I in a way, admire him for his ability to do what he's done. I still think he's a Fed. He became a Fed at some point, or under some sort of government oversight. And I think that's why I think that's when the wheels came off. Honestly,
I
recently.
don't see people think I hate Fuentes, and it's not that I hate Fuentes because I don't. I just find him annoying, mainly because he's a narcissist, and yet he's done nothing to like I mean, his narcissism is kind of unjustified, right?
Yeah, no, for sure.
Like, Steve, and I know this is, this is a pretty standard example, but like Steve Jobs was a well-known narcissist, but Steve Jobs also, you know, innovated and did shit that changed the world. So,
Yeah, narcissists come in a couple of categories. They're all effectively the same kind of people. Only some of them have done something, with that narcissist. I mean, you know what I mean? To potentially deserve
mhm.
said narcissistic ideals about them. Excuse me, sorry, about themselves and the world. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I don't
Yeah,
know, man.
Davey brings up a good point in chat. He says if you haven't talked to a woman by his age, you're sus. Yeah, I mean that's I could go off on a whole thing about that, but
Well,
it's
that's like
kind
the
of
crux
like
of these articles, isn't it, Sammy? They're all saying like they're all highlighting the fact that the leader of this uber right fucking nationalist white man party run by a kid is saying it's fucking gay to hook up with women. That's what they're focusing on. And that is
yeah.
that is the gayest thing I've ever heard. As it is for
Well,
most people, even most homosexuals.
yeah, it's funny that you bring that up because a few of my IRL gay friends actually were looked at this and they they don't really have any clue. They're normies to all this, but they looked at it and they're like, is this guy just shit posting? And I'm like, if it is a shit
Maybe,
post,
I
it
guess,
is.
maybe.
If it's a shit post, it's the most elaborate shit post ever. But I mean, it's just like people thought that the gummy thing with Owen was a shit post at first, but no, he literally believed, a,
Well, no, no. To be clear, that was a shit post. Still unclear as to who sent it, but Owen bought said shit post and gaslit his entire fucking community, myself included at the time, into believing that a couple of individuals, calm down, girl, um, sent his family poison dick-shaped gummies. Sorry, my cat got her claw stuck in my chair. Who, by the way, she's almost 1 year old. My pinned tweet on my Twitter account, Little Miss Lightfoot, in 5 days, she will be 1 year old. She's made it, guys.
she's she's cuter than the actual Lightfoot.
Oh, Jesus Christ, don't get me started on that fucking nightmare.
um, yeah,
Did you
we don't
see,
even.
let me see if I can find it. I think it was the New York Post posted an article about a man in the Chicago area. Oh, please, tell me I can pull it up quickly. Uh, he got arrested. Oh, here we go. Lincoln Park man, upset about violent crime near his home, threatened to shoot Prosecutor Fox and Mayor Lightfoot and then hang them from trees. And he's a fucking scrawny ass white boy expressing his frustrations. God damn it!
Uh,
And there's this picture. Oh my god, of Fox and Lightfoot on either side of this guy.
oh jeez.
Anyway,
Sometimes reality really is stranger than fiction, right? Like I never when I was a kid I never got that saying, but the older I get, the more I'm like, oh yeah,
yeah,
that's pretty much true more often than not. Um,
amen.
Speaking of weird disgruntled white boys, I guess I don't know all the details, but from what I've gleaned off Twitter, Yoba.
Oh
I
God.
guess is going to jail, which means
No, no. What happened? And I have not listened to it, but this is also just from what I've gleaned off of Twitter, because it's illegal to record those court sessions. I'm sure people have done it, but apparently the judge, he put in a plea of guilty, right? Through his lawyers and whatever, like guilty of whatever, suspended sentence, and I don't know all the specifics, but the meat of it is when he was in court and the judge says, "Do you believe you're guilty?" Baked Alaska said, "Well, actually, no, I don't think I'm guilty." And then so so basically the court has been he's going to have a trial now because he decided to plead. He effectively pleaded not guilty to whatever the charges were exactly. I'm not sure. But now he's going to go to trial in D.C., which has like a 98% conviction rate of crimes and trials or something crazy like that. If you want a fair trial, you're not going to get it in D.C. That's like kind of the maxim there.
right.
So yeah, he put his foot in his mouth is the kind of the crux of it. Everything had been done behind the scenes. All he had to do was appear in court and say, "Yes, Your Honor, I plead guilty." But because the way that it sounds like the way the judge worded the question, "Do you believe you're guilty of these crimes?" Baked is like, "Well, fuck no, I don't think I did anything wrong." And the judge's like, "Okay, well, trial date set for whatever date, 2023." So
Well, um, that's
I'm sure I
good.
butchered that, but it's something like that.
No, I'm not saying. Well, I'm at you. I'm just like, well, that's baked Alaska for you. He kind of reminds me of
He's fucking retarded, dude. He's so
yeah.
retarded.
No,
He's so retarded.
no,
It is actually sad.
he reminds me of right as you said that, the character of Charlie from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, like
I could
like
see that.
like flashed my head, and then I'm like, but wait, like Charlie, for all of his fuck ups, actually does have some redeeming qualities, and Bake actually might be dumber than Charlie is in some ways.
Yeah, I would agree. Did you, speaking of baked, which it's a weird segue, but did you see Andy Dick get arrested recently on the most recent RV?
No, I kind of I know a little bit of the IP2 people, but whenever I hear the word Andy Dick, I just because I'm immature, I just laugh my ass off because it sounds like a 70s porn star name, just the name alone.
He fucking wishes, dude. He fucking wishes.
He probably he probably he probably does, but no, what happened there?
Well, I'm not really sure, to be honest with you. Again, I've barely kept up with this shit myself because not only did I lose another sibling, which you mocked me for last time we were on stream, but I lost the most influential, creative human being in my life ever, which is Trevor Strnad of the Black Dahlia murder. I don't even know how he died, but he was 41 years old. He just died a couple days ago. And yeah,
I
like
I
when
wonder
what's that?
I wonder if he got a certain jab.
Well, I don't know. I mean, he was a musician and he's quite popular, and he's been dating this OnlyFans chick and recently put out a fucking porno with her on her OnlyFans. And before that was selling a bunch of his shit. I don't know what was going on in his personal life, but I don't really care. I just know that it's like it's a different kind of grief, because when I say influence on me, like my little brother's headstone is our last name in the stylization of this guy's band's logo. It's got the same letters, just in form of,
Yeah.
spelling out our last name. And I mean, I have a tattoo. My little brother had a tattoo. The only things hanging in my room right now are their flags. It's 20 years now. It's been 20 since 2001. They've been my favorite band, and he especially my favorite lyricist and vocalist and stuff. And like I'm not much of a simp, but that's one that it hits different, man. It's weird. It's
Yeah,
very weird. It's a
it,
different kind of grief.
it hits different when it's your favorite uh musician or
Yeah,
one
like
that's
just artist in general. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like it could be any kind, whatever. I'm sure it spans across any kind of art. I met him a couple of times. I've seen them, him and the Black Dahlia Murder in concert at least half a dozen times over the years. Not a big concert goer, but yeah, no, he's an ambassador to metal, and the outpouring that I've seen on Twitter alone is inspirational. And yeah, I don't know, it's fucking brutal, and it sucks. And I wanted to mention it. Trevor forever, rest in peace, my nigga.
No, I appreciate that. If it makes you, I mean, I don't know if this will make you feel any better, but I kind of know where you're coming from because in a sense that's kind of how I felt about Chris Cornell when he passed.
Yeah,
Soundgarden was one of those bands that kind of got me through my teenagers, and so when I saw that he passed, that was like one of those just real bummer moments. So and
yeah,
also it is kind of, I wouldn't say that Taylor Hawkins of the Foo Fighters was the same way, but that was just bizarre considering that he was 50 and in perfect health. And I mean, I haven't paid too much attention, but it seems like he just dropped dead. Um,
yeah. And there's still no cause of
long
death.
before.
There's still no cause of death for Trevor. But when the band announced it on Instagram or whatever, they included the number to the suicide hotline, and I'm still not sure how to read that, whether or not he killed himself or because they knew his influence was so vast that they were encouraging people like, hey, this is a tragic loss, don't do anything stupid, kind of
May-
thing.
Maybe a little bit of both, maybe.
Could be. I don't know. And it's driving me, that's the thing that's driving me crazy about it is, I mean, if he overdosed on drugs or something, which I could see, or, getting fentanyl poisoning or something, doing fucking heroin, but we don't know,
Hmm.
So like everyone's assuming. I watched a couple minutes of some douchebag fucking piece of shit, talking about Trevor and this culture of suicide and assuming that Trevor killed himself and all these other things, just talking shit basically. And there's always going to be that. Those people are always going to fucking exist, to try and capitalize negatively off of tragedy. Or,
Yeah, well,
they may have legitimate concerns too, but sorry, go ahead.
and then I guarantee you, because this happens almost any time. It happens a lot with musicians I've noticed, where they're like, so and so isn't really dead. They're living on an island
Oh, yeah,
somewhere.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I mean, it's almost a meme at this point, but people still buy that, I guess.
God, I fucking wish.
So,
But anyway,
Evil Eric has said a few things in chat. He
oh,
says,
of
"Sam,
course he has. I'm
speaking
fucking gay.
Speaking of, I'm actually seeing Evil Eric in my Twitter timeline again. It is the
Oh, I
weirdest.
know. Isn't that special?
It is the weirdest. Like I'm seeing all these people in my timeline that like they haven't been banned, but the
Yeah,
algorithm
bro. Johnny
changed.
Arcade, Evil Eric, Zenit Forward. Holy, I've never seen Zenit on fucking Twitter, which makes me
N-
very happy.
I know. So,
Yeah.
I even saw Sirio. I've even seen Sirio on Twitter a few.
Sirio's been, as long as I've been on Twitter, he'll pop in and out. He'll like a thing or he'll post a thing, you know, here and there.
Yeah.
But the robot man himself, he's ever present.
Well, I think Elon might have commissioned him for
Yeah, maybe.
something,
Maybe.
which that's a weird thing too because I guess Elon's Twitter deal got like put on hold or whatever.
Yeah, he's apparently investigating Twitter's reported numbers of users, running some tests with his teams on how many actual bots exist versus real people. Um, I saw something somewhere about Trump posting he would never pay that much for Twitter, and then like immediately after, Elon's like, "Well, the deal's on hold." I don't know if that's true, but I would I would think that you would investigate some of these things before you spent $44 billion. But in Elon's defense, in his own words, actually, he was going off of Twitter's reported numbers, the things that they've filed officially, not
Yeah.
not assuming that they're subverting in this way or that. Which I guess you could say in and of itself is a flaw, but he's a good boy. The autism runs strong in that one.
He he is. I mean, I honestly don't know what to think because I mean I like what I've seen of him so far. I think he's funny. I think he's one of the few billionaires that doesn't have malicious intentions, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, it may be more of
Um,
a like malevolent than malicious, and it may be neither of those. It may be entirely, positive in nature.
he I
His
think he
goals.
I think he might be just I think he might be just like on another level that we don't understand. I do think it's funny when he calls out Bill Gates for shit, and kind of mocks Bill Gates, who deserves to be mocked and ridiculed and other things that I can't mention
Sure, sure, sure.
on the internet. Um,
I saw Jeff Bezos tweeted this morning that the Ministry of Truth. He's basically talking shit about the Ministry of Truth and how like they're some sort of. It was very weird to me. It seemed like a shift. Like there's I don't know. I'm not smart enough to know what these people are
well,
doing. I don't pay
well,
enough attention, I guess.
see, I think people are finally starting to realize. Maybe it's not that they're finally starting to realize. I think at first the Ministry of Truth thing was kind of a meme, and then I think even normies were like, "Wait, are they serious? They actually want to do this?" And then the administration was kind of like, "Yeah," and then like even the normies were kind of like, "Oh, fuck."
Right. Speaking of normies, this is a total shift of gears, but did you hear that our dearest Norm MacDonald filmed a secret special from his living room
I did.
that is coming out the 30th of this month? Yeah.
I did. I actually I think I tweeted something about that.
That's
Um,
that is quintessential motherfucking Norm MacDonald, dude.
speaking of Norm, someone I guess bought the entire catalog of Norm Macdonald live episodes, and there's a thing where if you go to like buy me a coffee for $5, you can buy the entire archive of.
Oh, that's cool.
So, uh, you know, I've needless to say that was the easiest $5 I've spent.
Sure.
So yeah, I found that out right after finding out about this about the special. So Norma's gonna get
One last
uh,
fucking hurrah, man.
one last fucking hurrah from beyond the grave too, which is
A posthumous, a posthumous fucking hurrah. Who does that?
so well. I mean, Louis C.K. did win the Grammy for Best Comedy Album, while simultaneously being canceled. So
That's he was still alive, Sam. Come on.
I mean, it's different, but oh, this guy's never gonna work, is never gonna have success again. Well, you were wrong about that. So,
Yeah, those
also,
fucking retards have been wrong about a lot, though.
also speaking of retards, Owen Owen can no longer make the claim that Joe Rogan is gay.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. Go ahead and talk. I am about to piss my pants. I'll be back in 30 seconds. But go ahead and tell the story because I know it.
So, long story short, I guess Cenk Uygur from the Young Turks was shit talking Rogan about something or other. Um, and then Jenna Jamison, who I guess was also banned off Twitter for a while, um, said something to the effect of, uh, Rogan is very good in bed, or something like that. Which good for Joe, I guess. That's all I have to say there. Um, and also, I guess this proves that Owen was wrong about Joe. And I also, the other thing I know about Joe is he does not check Twitter. So I imagine that I mean, I'm sure by now he knows about it, but given the fact that he doesn't check Twitter, I know he didn't see it that way, and I know he didn't see it right away, and so I'm curious to know what his response upon finding out that that information got let out there was.
Is Owen even allowed to fucking stream anywhere now? He got kicked off of Rockfin or Rockfish or whatever the fuck that platform was. The owner of it called him a Fed.
I don't. You'll have to ask Johnny Arcade for that. I don't
That's
keep.
what I'm saying. I saw that on Johnny's channel where the fucking Owen was doing an interview with somebody and he was like, "Yeah, the fucking CEO was like, "Are you a fuck? You're a fucking Fed, aren't you? You're a fucking." I can't. I mean, it was. I feel like it was. That feels like 6 months ago, but it was probably a couple weeks ago now. Um, but yeah, no. Owen is so far removed from anything I think about now, which is weird because he's center point to everything that I experience on the internet. Like he's still there.
Yeah,
It's still all the things that he learned from Crowder and then implemented himself. People have taken that. People like Fuentes, people like Ralph have all taken. Owen was a stepping stone for these people. He really was. Whether we like it or not, he
Ralph
was.
was Ralph was kind of going downhill, from my understanding at least, kind of either a little bit before or kind of during the same era as
I would
Owen.
look. You're right. You're right. But I'm the point that I'm arguing is I would not doubt that the likes of Ethan Ralph learned something from
Oh,
Owen
sure.
and his shenanigans. going forward.
So,
Because, yeah, anyway.
but again, this kind of proves my point that Owen is the king of self projection because, uh, for years his whole thing on Rogan was, I'm pretty sure Joe Rogan's gay. Well, that theory got shot out of the water.
Well, hold on. To be fair, Sammy, it got shot out of the water when he got married and had kids before Owen ever claimed he was gay. You know
Well,
what I mean?
yeah.
Like the claims were never valid in the first place. they were never even they were never even considerable in my
Oh yeah,
estimation.
no. I just tweeted that because I thought the meme was, appropriate. But
Oh, you know what
yeah,
Joe Rogan still is though? Short and looks like a thumb. Owen got that right on the fucking nose, buddy.
hey, if anything, this proves that short guys can get it too. So,
That's never been an issue. That's another projection from Owen, whose retarded fucking genes made him 6 foot fucking 9, and shaped like a fucking pear still somehow. He
yeah.
thinks, well, God made me almost 7 foot fucking tall, so all these short fucks they have to suck. No, I mean no.
Tall dudes can get any women they want. That is the one thing of his that, like, for whatever reason, the mainstream internet, like, kind of all these pickup artists, like, grabbed a hold of and just ran with, and now they've kind of been proven wrong.
I have to be honest with you, Sammy. Being 6'2" since I've been 17 years old has netted me a much more pussy than I ever deserved. Just simply because I'm over 6 foot tall. I can't. It's so obnoxious how many females have that as a literal prerequisite. Like you start talking to this girl, you flirt, whatever, and then down the line you find out how it may be a couple hours, it may be a couple minutes, it may be a couple years down the line, you find out that they literally will not talk to a man that's shorter than 6 foot.
Yeah, I'm
And
not.
then you're
I'm
like, well, wait a minute, hold the fucking phone, bitch. So you're telling me that if I was exactly me, but 3 inches shorter, none of this would be happening? Well, no. You know
Yeah,
what I
no,
mean?
I'm not saying that doesn't. I'm not saying that doesn't exist. I mean, hell, I've been hit on by nursing students for the particular reason of they want to fix me.
Dude, you
Literal
should jump all
words.
over that. You should jump all over that, man.
I I
But
I
anyway,
mean,
continue.
yeah, I should, but that's all another stream for another time. I just thought that was a hilarious development in the larger podcast universe, and I'm sure Rogan not checking, because he has said that he never checks Twitter. So I'm sure that kind of came out of left field, and I'm sure that's going to be an interesting conversation.
You know,
Um,
I sorry to back up a little bit, but I'm pretty sure it's called Nightingale syndrome. When women or men, fall for someone, like a nurse falls for a patient because they have so much empathy and sympathy for their condition. I think that's what it's called. Nightingale. It's like a Nightingale syndrome or something. So like
yeah, yeah, no,
it
yeah,
happens.
no.
It happens a lot, Sammy. And you could look. You got to play the cards you're dealt, brother. You're cute.
Oh yeah,
You're cute as
no.
shit, you little fucker. And you're in a wheelchair. So let these fucking cute girls, massage your wiener a little bit sometimes. Let them, maybe they can fix you. You don't know that. You don't know that they can't. Don't deny them that chance. That's shame on you.
Yeah, no, I don't generally. It's just some of them have a some of them have also turned out to be crazy. And well,
Look, again, I'm
which
sorry to cut you off, but they're women. So get the fuck used to it, buddy. Go ahead. Sorry.
uh okay, but if my corpse but if my corpse ends up and well, first off, if my corpse does end up in some crazy hot bitch's home for whatever ever reason, I want you to do a memorial stream for me, and you can say something to the effect of he died, but at least he died happy. So
Sammy, no, the whole point is, can you imagine how happy you would be dying, doing what you loved? If some broad was just riding your wheelchair bound ass, and before you knew it, she shoved some ice pick in your neck or something, and I mean, you'd bleed out for a minute or so, but she'd ride your cock as long as there's still blood in it, and say sweet things to you. God damn, you'd die with a smile on your face. I probably would too.
we all would. We all would.
Yeah, who doesn't
So
want a psycho bitch to fucking murder them during intercourse?
there's an entire movie genre centered around that very thing.
Bro, there's an entire cultural movement around that, and it's called rednecks. Just listen,
Oh,
don't trust a bitch that rides horses. That's all I'm going to tell you. Those equestrian bitches are
well,
way fucked up. They're worse than you know. You hear stories about the church girls, the preacher's wife, their preacher's daughter type of thing. They're the freaks, bro. Find one that rides a horse and has been riding a horse since she was a little girl. And don't expect to keep all your teeth or even your fucking jawbones, because she is going to kick you like she's a horse. That's all she knows. She's going to beat the fuck out of you because she's insane most
well,
of the
we
time.
we
Not
might
to
all
generalize too much.
we might have one or two of those in chat. I don't know.
Oh fuck! Oh my God, Zenit's a horse girl, isn't she? Oh no, I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it. No, look, look. Horses is
Well,
just autism for girls. That's all. That's all. It's it's a good thing. It's not a bad thing. It's not to generalize too much. They're not all bad.
she
Hashtag not all.
hey hey listen, dude. She if it makes you feel any better, she knows where both of us are. Not only is she coming for
Oh
you,
no,
but
she knows more than that.
she's coming for both of us. So
Yeah.
whiskey will be the host. It's going to become the whiskey report because after
Oh yeah. Hey guys. We're
so
fucking we're looking for Sam in Apex's grave right now. Buy fucking my crypto. Oh damn it. I love it when you laugh, Sammy. Melts my heart. Anyway, what were you
yeah,
saying?
yeah, and also and also I hope you're watching, and I hope you heard.
Oh, he's not, but he will hear about it somehow, one way or another,
Well,
and there will be repercussions, guaranteed.
I know that because someone else, a high fellow, is
Oh no, oh no! Don't snitch on us, fellow. It's not our fault. Anyway,
so I mean he the one thing I do have to say that's funny is someone on Reddit, um it could have been it could have been a joke, but even if it wasn't, it's still
it was
funny
on
that
Reddit. It was a joke. Reddit is a joke. But anyway, continue.
it's funny that they think that it's funny that someone may have confused him for Alex Jones or something based on his voice.
I have seen in the Discord, in my Discord, some random like what do you call it? Like allusions to the Reddit community and Reddit fans in regards to whiskey. That's a thing? People, the Reddit now likes whiskey,
Oh
or is there like a
yeah.
whole other Reddit?
Oh, you mean the Gamma subreddit?
Yeah, the Gay Sex Kings Reddit.
Yeah, they're yeah. They're fascinated with him because they think that like for some reason he's like some Vox Day acolyte or something. Not sure how, not sure how they got.
They're
Not
so
sure.
fucking stupid, man. I love it. God, don't ever change, you fucking retards. Just
Uh
what's his? I don't even remember his name now. Our favorite troll. Um,
oh,
Carl, Carly
Car
Marks.
Carly.
Carly Marks, yeah, from South America, that dirty fucking South American piece of shit. Um, yeah, no, he's an idiot. You know, they're all some. At least Carl was funny. Carl was funny sometimes.
So
But yeah, they're on some sort of spiritual quest on Reddit, and it's very funny to me. But
I don't
anyway, go
even
ahead.
I don't even really check up on that Reddit anymore to be honest.
You know what's funny? What's funny is I created the Reddit account on my phone thanks to uh the Gay Sex Kings. And you know, I've been there a couple of times. You know, I talk shit to Carl. I made a couple of threads. You know, keep talking shit, Carl. It's only going to get worse with my Calvin and Hobbes edits. Excuse me.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well that well the thing of it is like out of all the things that like um out of all the things to get mad about, Vox Day doxing people and whatnot, like legitimately bad things. What do they decide to get mad at? You making slightly edgy Calvin and Hobbes cartoon remixes.
Well, see, and this is where I feel like my perception of all of this differs. And this goes back to what I was talking about Tiny Bird earlier. I have no problem with people poking absolutely the most arbitrary holes in things that I say, that you say, whatever we talk about here on the internet. It's the internet. They're like, not only are they allowed to do that, I expect people to do that. And if they don't, it's kind of boring. If there's not people out there, and if they look, the difference is whether they actually care about it or if they're just having fun. And Carl, for example, seems like he's having fun. He goes overboard in a lot of ways, but he's never contacted anybody. He fucks with us. You're
No,
allowed to do that. That's funny.
you know, you know what the weirdest thing was a few weeks ago. Well, not a few weeks ago, probably like 2 months ago or so now. I had a guest on, uh, who kind of was in the nerdrotic orbit, and Carl came in and it was like, so you're a nerdrotic simp, and just kind of jokingly I said, yeah, you got me. I'm a nerdrotic simp. Next thing I hear, like Carl does like this like uh he he basically types out like ugh or something, or like basically like what you imagine
Sam,
your cat would be doing,
Sam,
typing on a
see, no, that's
keyboard.
that he was expressing frustration because he's trying to troll, and you went straight to the. I mean, you just agreed with him. You didn't argue. You didn't throw any counter in there That shit's boring. These people exist. They want you to counter them. They want you to fucking. They're fucking around. It's the internet. You're supposed to be fucking around.
Well, they,
You
well,
know?
they, well, they want me to rage quit. Is what I think he was
No, they
trying to.
don't. No, they fucking don't.
So some of them do. Some of
No.
them do for lulls, I guess. But but
Well,
but the funny thing of it is he left and I haven't heard from him for a couple months. So
the fact of the matter is, you have a very tall, fairly stacked, alcoholic, tall, handsome son of a bitch here with you. I'll beat the shit out of all these fucking nerds. Let's go. We'll set up a boxing match. I will fight all of them.
oh, speaking of
Yeah,
boxing
the
match,
creator clash. Did you see any of that?
I heard about some of that. Also, though, I don't know if you saw this, but I challenged Madison Cawthorn, the Congress guy who's in a wheelchair. I challenged him to a cripple fight.
Oh fuck yeah. Did you really?
Yeah, I did, and I haven't gotten a response on it,
Of course not.
but I think it would be funny. Um,
Sam, what needs to happen is you and I need to be in the same physical space. I need to be pushing you around on a wheelchair as a fucking hype man. Just fucking jacked and tall, and just loud and aggressive with a sexy ass voice, looking good, pushing your sexy ass around, talking shit. What are you gonna do? Huh? We'll walk up to Charlie Kirk. Well, I will wheel your fucking ass up to Charlie Kirk's fucking podium in the middle of a speech. I'll fight that whole fucking crowd.
that would be funny. So,
Exactly.
um, oh,
We
also
need a Royce and Merce type thing going on here. You know, we need to be in the same studio. We need to be pushing you around that fucking
that
bedroom of yours.
that would be awesome. So, um, and I could, who knows? You could probably sleep on my couch, or I guess I could sleep on my own couch. You know.
Yeah, I'll sleep on your bed. You can sleep on the couch, buddy. It's fine. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Uh,
No.
oh,
But on the reels though, like I'm looking to move um in the near future. So the odds that I end up closer to you than I am now are pretty high. To be honest with you, I only have one living sibling left, and she's uh, closer to you than I am right now.
you have living siblings because I haven't been stabbed by a nurse yet. So
Yeah, you're my little nigga. She's my little sister. But
so
anyway,
um as we've been talking, a little bit before, I guess another shooting happened in New York, which I actually heard about from Mr. Medicare, and at first I thought it was a shit post, but I guess it's
I've
actually
actually
real.
not I've actually not heard about it.
Um, so just kind of the Cliff Notes version from what I've heard. Some guy shot up a supermarket in Buffalo, New York,
Wait,
and
wait, did they call it? How did they describe it? I'm gonna decide if it's a white man or a black man based on
they
their reporting.
they described it as um I guess this person. Well, it's already kind of suspicious because I guess this person left a manifesto, which is oddly similar to, I guess, like it has like all these like keywords that have to do with like MAGA and like whatnot. Um, and I'm hearing conflicting things like this person streamed it just like the Christchurch thing, but I haven't. Uh, again, I'm just I'm just kind of getting info off, clip
Remember,
notes on
lads,
Twitter.
subscribe to PewDiePie.
And Twitter. That was part of the whole.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that Christchurch
Um,
shooting, I watched that thing more times than I care to admit. I was, for some reason, morbidly fascinated by it.
well, well, you're, well, I should disavow you immediately. I'm not going to, but I should disavow you because apparently anyone who can watch the Christchurch thing
I
could
wanted
go
to
to jail.
understand it. I wanted to understand it, man. Like, the dude had every inch of his fucking rifle marked down, and he said that whole subscribe to PewDiePie thing. Like, I don't know. I mean, there wasn't a lot of gore in his video, in his, first person GoPro fucking vid. But it was still, I don't know, man. There was
Well,
something like not enticing, but like entrancing, I guess, about it.
well,
It
so
seems like a definite op by somebody. I don't know who
yeah.
or for what, but like all the markings on the fucking rifle, it's all white power shit, you know. I mean, all like very prevalent white power shit, like Resurrection Europa type thing.
Well, and this is kind of the thing that I've said about shootings for years is a lot of these people that do them, it's horrible obviously when they happen, but a lot of them do it for attention and whatnot, obviously. So I feel like that whenever they leave manifestos and whatnot, I'm not really sure if they're like actual manifestos or if these people just write shit before they go and do stuff because they know that the media is going to pick up on you know their manifesto as being like the trend of the day, I guess.
Yeah.
So I mean, like I'm obviously not saying that the shooting is fake or anything. I'm just saying that a lot of these people do shootings for media attention.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's been an argument for a long time. Like, mass shooters should not get publication. Like, don't show their face. Don't say their names. Show the victims, explain the crime, but don't give these people fucking airtime. All you do
Yeah,
is glorify their acts in a lot of cases, and it feels like they're doing it on purpose recently. That's another
mm-hmm.
thing about the Tarrant case, the Brenton Tarrant case in New Zealand. We were just talking about. It's like that dude. I don't even You're not even allowed to have guns down there in the outback in New fucking Zealand. He had combat fucking weapons that were sketched down with precise, Roman style fucking Roman and Celtic ancient shit.
Right.
Symbols and words. Like, what the fuck? That's not normal.
No. I mean, yeah. I definitely think that it could have been an op. Uh, Wink.
Well, he's still in jail. He's not dead. He's alive.
Well, and there are still unanswered questions about Las Vegas.
Don't even fucking get me started on Las Vegas.
So,
Yeah.
um, yeah, no, I know Las Vegas is a whole rabbit hole, but notice that that's the one that they immediately shut up about
Oh
instead
yeah.
of
No, of
going on
course.
and on and
You know,
on about.
you know why? Because that was an arms deal gone wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And the removal of 800-pound storm windows in a casino. I mean, other than banks, probably the most highly protected, I would argue in some cases more protected than banks, electronically, security wise. This motherfucker pulled an 800-pound storm window, carried up dozens of weapons, and shot however many people. Yeah, no,
Right.
there's so much wrong with that.
Well, and not just
9
that, but like
9/11, no, look, 9/11 looks like a fucking looks
cakewalk.
like it looks like a parade compared to compared to this fucking Vegas shit. It's insane. And
Well, and
nobody
I
gives a fuck. Nobody even knows.
well, the normies don't. I should say they're
That's what I mean. Yeah.
yeah. Um, I mean, I've never been to Vegas, but from what I understand, there are security cameras everywhere and
Everywhere.
where.
Every fucking where, dude. Yeah, it doesn't make sense. I mean, the best I can surmise from the research I've done is he was some sort of arms dealer, something went wrong, and it was both backed by and surveilled by the United States government. Whatever happened went wrong. These motherfuckers, um, you know, Saudis or whatever, I can't remember. Somebody, Middle Eastern, was like, well, we're gonna fucking, well, we will punish you. And they did.
Hmm.
They killed a bunch of fucking people, injured a bunch more. And, the media and all the CIA and all these people scrambled to, this lone fucking guy carried up 900 pounds worth of weapons and removed a storm window out of a casino that has some of the highest security in the country of any building, including banks. And, just started firing down on a group of concert goers.
Hmm.
Right wingers, by the way, because it was a country concert.
Yeah,
But
but we're supposed to believe that the guy who did the shooting was also right wing, and that might
by
not
himself,
have.
and also by himself, using bump stock rifles. He, just shot from whatever fucking story that was. It was way the fuck up there, and it was a big ass window, and then shot himself. It's already been. He had cameras set up in the hallway. That's already been proven. There was secret camera footage or whatever. Not secret, but he set up cameras. There were cameras set up outside of his room for the hallway and whatever else. Oh God, and I'm spiraling here. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I just had a thought while you were saying that, and I know that this isn't particularly groundbreaking of a thought, but these days it kind of seems like most common sense things are actually groundbreaking. But I've noticed that the media likes to attribute a lot of these shootings with like some sort of political motive. But what if politics has nothing to do with it at all, and these people are just fucking insane?
Well, no, I don't even think it's. What if politics has nothing to do with it at all, and these people are insane, but really it boils down to money. It's all about money, Sam. If you boil it down, the fucking Hebrewic nature of the world, get yours and fuck everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
It makes sense, dude. To me,
Yeah.
fuck, I'll kill anybody if I can get $100,000. I'll kill you. I mean, not me, quote unquote.
Right. The proverbial.
Yeah, yeah.
Although, like that's the other thing. Like a lot of these shooters, they have to know that they're going to die, right?
A lot of them have families, though, right?
Yeah, well, that I guess that leans to kind of the whole, op thing with you know, with the
Well, the brother of the Vegas shooter, who came out very quickly and was like, "What the fuck? This is insane." No, my brother was comped at all these restaurants, at all these casinos. He made tons of money. He lost a bunch of money, but he made a bunch of money. Like, doesn't make any sense. And then they found him with like a terabyte of child pornography on his fucking the brother of the shooter in Las Vegas. They found like a terabyte of child pornography on his personal computer. All of a sudden, so now he's in jail and nobody can hear from him again.
yep, it's the damn alphabet agencies probably.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Um,
well, it's actually fucking stupid to think that it's not, in my opinion. It's stupid to think that to think that you're not a potential pawn. You're on the internet, you're doing all this shit. You are in their pocket. We all are.
yeah,
You
well,
can use VPNs, you can be all clever and shit. And I'm not going to say you can't avoid it entirely, but you are in the system. It's the mark of the beast, basically.
hmm I kind of feel like it's kind of always been that way, even before like computers, though, to a certain extent. I mean, they had ways.
Ah,
I mean, it's definitely gotten more prevalent with computers, but I mean, I feel like if the government really wanted to fuck with you, and I'm not just talking about America, I'm talking about like, you know, just governments in general. They can always fuck with you if they want.
yeah.
So
Just to change tune here a little bit. I recently watched The Batman with Robert Pattinson.
really, so what do you think? What did you think of Sparkle Batman, as my old man likes to call him?
It took me, and I'm not exaggerating, 3 attempts to watch the whole movie, and I fucking hate it. I hate it. I sincerely do not like it. I think it's because I hate the superhero cape bullshit. I'm so fucking burnt out. It's not innovative. It's not creative. It's fucking boring. It's the same old shit, just repeated. It's a different Batman, but I don't give a fuck. We've had 15 fucking Batmans in my lifetime, and
Hmm
I've already seen the best version in my estimation. There could be a better, but I don't care. I don't care enough to like it. I actually genuinely do not like it. The grunge, the grunge music and the overuse of Ave Maria makes my like literally I'm getting angry thinking about it. The music choices in that fucking movie make me mad. I hate it. I hate it. I genuinely do not like it.
Now, see, I liked it, but I like it I like it less as I've viewed on repeats, mainly because it's so fucking long.
It's boring, dude. It's boring and it tries to play this whole the real problem that I have with it is that it tries to play this
Uh-oh.
angry and I don't want to do this, but I have to do this and it's not it's it doesn't play well. The music is the soundtrack especially kills it. It may have been a good movie with a different soundtrack, to be honest with you, a different score, but they replay the same just monotonous, horrible fucking grungy song 3 or 4 times throughout the movie. Ave Maria 4 or 5 times throughout the movie. I don't care. It doesn't evoke anything from me. Those stupid grungy songs actually make my fucking toes curl. Like, it's like they're trying to recreate Nirvana without stealing any licensing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's fucking bullshit, and I hate it. I hate it. I really do not like it.
Well, as someone who liked who was a fan of the comics, right? Not the movies necessarily, but the comics themselves.
Uh-huh.
It's really weird that they turned Bruce Wayne into uh Kurt Cobain for this
That's
because
exactly right, dude. He's a sis. His hair is always over his fucking face. And even the action scenes where he's getting shot 50 fucking times or 75, 150 fucking times, but nobody can hit him in the chin. Like, it just doesn't sell for me. I did not like it. I did not like it at all. I could see, I hope, what I will say is Colin Farrell's makeup transformation into the Penguin, fascinating.
mm-hmm.
That does not make a good fucking movie for me, though, you idiots. That doesn't make a good movie.
I think my favorite part of the set of the movie was probably the set design.
Set
But
design
that
was good. No, set design was good. Ambience was good. There's a lot good. There is a lot good. I don't want to shit on it as a whole. I like the whole investigative angle where Batman is, that
doing
scene where he's in
doing detective shit.
yeah, doing detective shit. That scene where he's in the room with all the cops and he starts to fight with, like, that actually gave me some anxiety. That was a good scene. I mean, the concept is there for sure, but Batman has existed for a long fucking time. That premise is not new. You can read that in multiple iterations. To
Mm-hmm.
put it into a movie in current day, in current year, I don't know. It did not sit well with me. I've said that I hate it. I don't hate it. I just really,
It
genuinely don't like it.
it sounds like you're kind of like me, where you're kind of like annoyed by certain things,
Yeah,
like
no, why?
extremely.
Like, literally, why? Why am I watching this? What's the point of me watching this iteration of Batman? Oh, he's grungy and he's fucking sad and he doesn't want to be Batman. Fuck you. I don't care. I literally fell asleep twice. And I tried. I made it, 50 minutes in the first time. I made it an hour and 45 minutes in the second time. And then I finished it the third, and was I was happier falling asleep. You know?
I
Imagining what the end after that first 45 minutes was.
Yeah, you want to know a good movie because people kept comparing it to the movie Seven,
Ugh.
which is almost an insult because Seven is actually a, a good movie.
It's a genre-defining movie. It's a great movie.
I had not seen I had completely forgotten like how Seven went. That is a good that's how you do a thriller
That
movie.
that is a great movie. To compare the Batman to Seven is an insult on more levels than I can quantify right now. But it's not even close. It's not even close. It's just internet. It's people on the internet coping. They're trying to cope. The internet is just cope now. We're all looking for people to, you know,
What's in the
reaffirm our own
box?
ideas. What's in the box? Oh God, man.
The that's one thing like that actually has been stuck in my head for the last. Like I watched that movie 6 months, like 6 weeks, not 6 months, 6 weeks ago, and that scene is still like stuck in my
It's so good.
mind.
And speaking of good movies, I posted a poll on my Twitter account recently, and I worded it incorrectly, but I let it fly anyway. Uh, which which character Robert Downey Jr. was better as, Iron Man or Sherlock Holmes? And what I was really asking is, what is a better watching experience? Robert Downey Jr. as Sherlock Holmes via Guy Ritchie, or Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man through all the iterations in Disney? And there's only two movies in Sherlock Holmes in the
Well,
Guy Ritchie series, but they are fucking good. They are
they
so good.
they are good. They are good. I I mean I to be fair, I did like Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man, but to be
Of
fair,
course, he's an excellent Tony Stark. That's why it was an unfair poll.
well, but also think about it this way: he's the only one who's played Iron Man 2, to my knowledge. Whereas like a bunch of people have played Sherlock Holmes over the years,
That's true. That's
and
true. And Benedict Cumberbatch does a pretty good fucking Sherlock Holmes too in the Sherlock series. Like he does a good job too. So yeah, it wasn't a fair poll, but a Game of Shadows, the second, excuse me, Guy Ritchie Sherlock Holmes movie is seriously one of the best movies in a
the
long time. I mean, it holds up so fucking well on so many levels. I mean, I was watching both. I watched the first and then the second movie when I posted that poll. Um, and again, I worded it poorly.
the
But again, my question was just just agree with me that Sherlock Holmes is good. The Guy Ritchie Sherlock Holmes are good. I was falling into
uh
the
oh yeah,
internet
no,
hugbox there.
the Guy Ritchie Sherlock Holmes movies are extremely underrated. I mean,
No, oh my god, yeah,
you want to talk underrated movies? Those are though. And what's a real bummer is supposedly from what I've read that was supposed to be like a trilogy,
it
but
was supposed to
then
be a trilogy. Yep.
but then that one, the second one didn't do well, and so they just, they shelved the third one. Meanwhile, like I'm a Marvel fan, but the Marvel movies, sorry Matt, are not that good. Are not that good anymore. Other than Spider-Man, I really don't give a shit about the MCU
Yeah,
anymore.
the
Just
most recent Spider-Man is the only MCU movie, save for the early Iron Man movies. Maybe even the first Iron Man movie that I enjoyed as a movie.
yeah. No, I'm right there with you. Um,
Ouch.
oh, is
Ouch.
your cat giving you the Mersh treatment?
No, I've had my leg underneath me. Ouch. And now I'm stretching it out.
Oh,
Hmm.
yeah. For those of you just tuning in, Apex Gamer banged up his leg pretty well.
I'm fucking
Uh,
crippled too, y'all.
so, um, well, I don't think there's too much more to cover other than there's a breast milk shortage, which is supposed to relate to, or no, a baby formula shortage.
I was gonna say, hold on, Abby Shapiro, Abby Shapiro, Abby Shapiro, Abby Shapiro.
The Shapiro I should have interviewed instead of
Yeah, right.
Ben.
Hold on, I have a tip for you moms that can't breastfeed. Find a wet nurse that will create an entire new field that actually used to exist and got killed thanks to baby formula. We will reinvigorate that job market. Lactating women with big old titties feeding your kids because you can't.
Sounds good to me.
We're not talking about our boys in wheelchairs, Sammy. I mean, although depending on how big the milkers are, if they're Shapiro level, you might be able to squeeze a couple pumps in. Anyway, let's get the fuck off of this stream.
Listen, I'm real thin as fuck, so
Yeah.
But somehow that relates to my point is somehow that relates to the fact somehow the lack of baby formula is relating to, I guess, the fact that diesel fuel is short and we're going to collapse, which we're going to eventually. And
dude, yeah, we're in a free fall, and the people that don't see it will. I mean, they will. We are in an unprecedented place right now, folks, and we can have fun and laugh here on the internet, but your friends, your family, and your children are going to be what matters real soon. The only thing that matters real soon. And I mean, I could be wrong. Maybe they paint over all this shit and we continue living in this facade, but I don't think so. It's going to come down, and the people that see it are the ones that are going to find ways out, and the ones that try to exist in the reality that they've lived in their whole lives. Shame on them. Those are the ones that are going to fall, and we will mourn.
Yeah, I mean, and the other thing I will say too is like I don't necessarily have like a defeatist attitude, but it's like I was saying, like I think I explained this a few weeks ago. Other than doing like show prep for the show, I generally don't really pay attention much to the news that much because a lot of it is depressing, and it's not. I'm not aware that I'm aware that the world is going into shit, but I just kind of. I choose to be happy knowing that, with my immediate surroundings and with my immediate friends and family, knowing that the world is going to hell and not letting it get me down, if that makes sense.
Everybody has that choice.
Yeah, everybody does, but a lot of people, it seems, choose to live in depression and nihilism and shit. So
yeah, well, for 5,000 years, Sam of the House Whitfield has rolled from town to town, taking girls from their poor mothers and rolling them from town to the next town, and not explicitly raping them, but certainly not raping them. As he impregnates the girls across the countryside, Sam of the House Whitfield rolled. I don't know, man. I had something there, but anyway, good night, everybody.
It's a good start of the bit, but yeah, we might as well end the show on a funny note. So, with that in mind, good night, folks. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks everyone in chat for contributing, and we'll see you next time.
I love you all very much. Good night, chat. Good night, Sam.
We love you too. All right. Later, Gators.
See you.
Thanks for listening to The Whitfield Report on the NGC Network. Please visit Sam's website at www.thesamwhitfield.com and support Sam on Patreon at patreon.com/Whitfield Report. Until next time, God bless, God save this great nation, and God, freedom, legacy, in that order.